Week 2 of the NFL season is in the books, and with that, we have seen some players absolutely skyrocket up our dynasty rankings. So today, we're going to give you the 6 biggest risers over the last 2 weeks. Some players that have had just absolutely unbelievable starts. Some people they'll be kind of expected to have some amazing starts. Speaking of which, Dak, who's our first riser?
First riser, Rasheed Rice. We've been telling you all offseason to go buy Rasheed Rice when he had his legal issues. When he was wide receiver 50 on keep trade cut, when everyone was like, just sell him for a third, sell him for whatever you can get. We were saying, go buy him. He's going to smash in this offense. And I think we were too conservative. We had him at wide receiver 24, which was really aggressive in terms of where everyone else was ranking him. But I think like we should have had him much higher. He's our wide receiver 11 right now. He's Patrick Mahomes' number one receiver. It doesn't get better than that, really. Especially in an offense that wants to throw the ball, air out the ball. You saw he had a deep touchdown by the sideline, 40-yard bomb, and he can create with Yak too. He's so good at just everything. He's a great receiver. And he's very young. He's the one in that offense for a very long time. So if you bought Rasheed Rice, congratulations. You might have found yourself a league winner for this year just because of how cheap he was. If you didn't, it sucks. Um, but yeah, he's had a really good start to the season. It's good to see that he's produced the way that we thought he could, and just hope he's able to continue it, which there's no doubt in my mind that he will.
Yeah, it's almost frustrating with Rasheed Rice because there was a point this offseason, and Dak can attest to this, where I had him, I think it's my wide receiver 16, I believe, or 17. And I kind of let the other guys talk me down a little bit off of that. And he ended up being around our wide receiver 20-ish, which was still like almost the highest out of anyone in the industry. So I'm very happy that we were correct on that. But yeah, I mean, like just an absolutely amazing start to the year for him and really could not be much better.
There were so many comments on our channel about Hollywood Brown, like Hollywood Brown was keeping everyone from buying Rasheed Rice. That I could go through it now, just telling us how stupid we were. If you let Hollywood Brown keep you from buying Rasheed Rice, like you missed out. You really missed out big time. So hopefully you did go out and buy Rasheed Rice.
Yeah. I hope at least one person that watched our videos went out and bought him. I know you did that.
I did.
So our second player is going to be Devon Chain. Someone who I was very excited going into like the redraft standpoint, but he blew me out of the water. He's the running back 2 so far, and like only behind Alvin Kamara, who scored I think like 5 touchdowns so far this year. Chain has 2. He's just been absolutely insane. His receiving work is unbelievable. He has like 14 catches, I think, through 2 weeks, which is just absolutely insane. He had like 20 carries last week. It's mind blowing how much they're giving him the ball. The only thing with A-Chain is obviously he needs to stay healthy. He's a little bit on the lighter side for a running back, so we are a little bit more concerned about that than we would be for your other average running back. But as long as he stays healthy, Devon A-Chain is a high-end RB1. He's in the same tier of player as like your Brees and your Bijan Robinson in terms of points per game. It's just that simple. He's that good. He's that efficient. He's that explosive. Um, in terms of our dynasty rankings, he has moved from our RB7 all the way up to our RB4. And for me, he's in the same tier as your Bijan, your Brees Hall, and your Jameer Gibbs. Dakota, he's just the start of the next year, but either way, still RB4, someone who is going to be a cornerstone piece for you for the next couple of years.
Yeah, I didn't expect the work out of the backfield that he was going to get. That's blown me out of the water. Just shocked me. And then week one, he was getting the goal line work over Mostert.
Mhm.
Like that absolutely like just I never expected that from Devon Achane. If he continues to get that, and I think he's averaged less than 4 yards a carry while doing all of this too, like it's just insane. Yeah, he's definitely a guy that's going up our rankings, and he just needs to stay healthy. And like there really is no limit for how high up the rankings he can go. It's been insane to watch. So next guy that we have on our list is going to be Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield going into the year, I think he was like QB 24, 25 around there. And all he's done is sign a big contract in the offseason, and he's so far been the QB1 overall throughout the first 2 weeks. That's not going to continue, but he could be like a top 8, top 12 QB at the position for the rest of the year. And I think that's definitely, you're taking that as your QB2 when you're building out a dynasty roster. Initially, I think we thought him as like a solid QB3, but now he's definitely a solid QB2 that if you bought him the offseason, you've got a good return on your investment. And I don't see any reason why this can't continue. He's playing the best football of his career, arguably. He's got Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. It's a solid group of weapons there. And like I said, he's just been playing so well. a really good investment, I think, at this point at the quarterback position. Even now, if you want to go out and acquire him at QB 17 prices, I have no issue with that. He's been really solid.
Yeah, he's gonna be. He's not that old either. He's gonna continue to be good for years. And he doesn't rely on his legs too much. So like, I have no like he could play until he's 36. I would not be surprised whatsoever. So plenty of football left in Baker Mayfield. Going into our fourth player, we're gonna have our only tight end. We're gonna have Brock Bowers, who has just lit the league on fire with how good he's been right out of the gate as a tight end. Usually, rookie tight ends. I know we saw Sam Laporta last year, but usually rookie tight ends have a bad first year. It's just a thing. The position's just harder to learn. Brock Bowers said, "Screw that. I'm going to be the best player on my freaking team," and has had like I think he's had 30% target share. He's made Jacoby Myers, someone who I respect as a pretty decent NFL wide receiver, an absolute dud. He has like 2 catches throughout the first 2 weeks. Brock Bowers has been absolutely insane. He's got over an A plus PFF grading. He's the tight end one right now, and he hasn't scored a touchdown yet. That's absolutely unbelievable. If you're in a tight end premium league, Brock Bowers is probably like a mid-second round pick, just among those elite wide receivers. He's just that good. He's jumped from our tight end three behind McBride and Laporta to his own tier at tight end one overall. No one else is in his tier. He's just that unbelievably good.
Yeah, he had the profile coming out of college. And I think we were a little scared of the situation that he landed in.
Mhm.
Michael Mayer, we thought was a pretty decent tight end, so weren't sure how that was going to work with him and Mayer, as well as Gardner Minshew being there. Just it was an ugly situation that he walked into. And like you said, he's just like, you know what? I'm Brock Bowers, and I don't care. I will produce like a beast. And that's what he's done. It's been really exciting. The tight end landscape has been pretty rough the last couple or so years. There's only been like Kelsey, Andrews a few years ago, and now you've got like McBride, Laporta. But still, the tight end landscape has been starving for new talent, and Brock Bowers has definitely taken the torch for that. And like you said, he's tight end one. He's in his own tier. He's been so much fun to watch. No reason why it won't continue for the rest of the year. Again, if you
Yeah,
got him at like 107 in a tight end premium draft, good job.
I got him at 108.
Yeah, like he's been phenomenal. Um, so moving on, we got Nico Collins also on this list. He wide receiver two so far this season. I think he was like our wide receiver 14, wide receiver 15 around there in the offseason. He's moved up to our wide receiver 10, and that's probably too low still. I mean, he's the one in a CJ Stroud led offense who they want to throw the ball a ton. He's gotten the targets, the lion's share of the targets over Tank Dell and Stephon Diggs. It wasn't entirely clear how that would work out this offseason. I think we were both pretty confident that Nico would be the one, but the talent has really shown out. We were talking about this the other day. He might be a top 5 to 6 NFL talent at the receiver position. Just the incredible size, speed, all of that, catching the ball. Like he's got it all. He's a really just great player, and he's in that CJ Stroud offense. Him and Stroud have a great connection. Just wants to feed him the football. So he's definitely a cornerstone talent, still relatively young. He's really exciting. I love watching Nico Collins play football.
Yeah, he really is awesome. Something I've been excited to watch for so many years now. I do think maybe the industry, Keep Drake Cut has him as wide receiver seven, might be a little bit high, a little bit recency bias. I do still think Tank Dell is a good NFL talent, and Tank Dell has not really done anything through the first 2 weeks. I do expect that to change soon. And then maybe Nico Collins' yards come down a little bit, Tank Dell's yards do go up. But either way, I think Nico Collins still finishes the year as a wide receiver one pretty handedly. Maybe a high end wide receiver one, honestly, like a top six option. And if that's the case, he should easily be inside our top 10 rankings. I could see him as high as what, like wide receiver 6 or 7 by the end of the year if this does continue. No
Yeah,
reason why I shouldn't, right?
yeah.
In a CJ Stroud offense. With that being said, our last player is going to be Kyler Murray, someone who we did tell you to go out and buy this offseason, someone we were very high on. We had him as our QB 9 or 10. He's up to our QB 6. And while 9 or 10 was about consensus, we did say we do almost expect him to get up to this range. Like we thought Kyler was going to do what Kyler does, and Kyler did what Kyler does. He is an absolute menace running the football. He always has been. He always will be as long as he has legs. And now he has fantastic weapons. I mean, Trey McBride's taking another step. Um, but the real thing is Marvin Harrison Jr., right? We saw this last week. Marv caught what, 4 for 133 and 2 touchdowns or something like that. That's absolutely amazing. I don't expect that to go away anytime soon. I think Marv is going to be a cornerstone piece for Kyler to continue to get the ball to for as long as he plays football for. Kyler has shown before that he can be the quarterback one overall in a given season. And I think people just kind of forget that this past offseason. But now people are starting to remember because he had a huge performance last week. Any given week, Kyler can just put up 30 plus points. And that's why he's in that tier 2, right? Some people have him in that tier 1. I saw. I think it's a little bit rich. He's not in that like Mahomes, Allen, Hurts tier, but just at the top of that next tier with your Mars and your Strouds. That's where we have Kyler. I think that's where he belongs, and that's where he should be for a long time.
Yeah, you have him as your QB 6 right now. I have him as my QB 7. If you're a Kyler owner and you've held him, as he went through his ACL injury and everything, like it was a long wait, but you've hit the payoff now. He's playing like Baker Mayfield, the best football of his career. Just the way he's able to extend plays with his legs and just make things happen down the field with his arm or running the ball. Like he's got it all going on right now. And the Arizona defense is so bad. They're always going to need that offense to score 30 plus points. Like you saw week 1 against Buffalo, like that. The offense needed to score to keep up just because that defense is so bad. So at least for this year, like that's not going to change. They're always going to need offense. And Kyler Murray and the rest of that offense, like you said, Trey McBride, Marv, like they're going to put up points. So just really exciting. Again, a QB1 to build your dynasty teams around. Kyler Murray, just great player. Great player.
Yeah, I think if you just start up like right now, where's Kyler go? Kyler goes top 8.
Top 8. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like 108, I think.
And just absolutely awesome to see for someone that you could have gotten like the second, maybe even third rounds just this past offseason.
Yeah.
So we hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.